Hello and welcome to another Archie's video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. This time we are at Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit and we are in 2012 Mazda RX-8 Spirit R. And we are on the sports hard tires, and I jumped on the game right when the time trial went live and gave it an hour to see what I could do. And then I also went a bit overtime because I got stubborn at the end. If you just want to see my fastest lap, fast forward to the end of the video. If you want to stay on board for all the pain and suffering, just keep watching. And if you are here for the first time and you found yourself entertained by the end, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's get on with my first attempts. But first, a small confession. You can see I've already driven 25 kilometers. That's because these time trials have been revealed on the website for quite a while, so I had a 10-minute sneak peek in the car on the track before jumping in properly. Now the first test is, can I hit the bollard without getting the lap invalidated? And the answer is no, you cannot. That's actually a good thing. I've always found it a bit silly hitting that bollard when doing time trials and races here. First brake marker I'm going to use later on in this video is that darker piece of tarmac there. That's my brake marker for turn 1, and you can see on this very first lap I overshot that first corner. I'm going to use this first lap just to point out brake markers, so just ignore my driving in general because this is a slow lap. For this corner, when the barrier disappears off the screen on the left hand side, I use that as a marker for this corner. Be careful not to cut the inside there. Here I'm trying to upshift up to third gear before exiting. Make sure you don't run too wide there. And now we are coming down the hill, and I was starting to use the end of where the short layout disappears onto the right as a brake marker. I braked a bit early on this lap. I'm using the start of the curb for this one, down to second gear, back up to third. It's preferred to try to get a straight line out of there. Here I'm using the start of the curb for braking into this rather tight corner. You have to be rather patient here. I am running rather wide here, but you have to sort of find a late apex. And now we are coming through this fast chicane-like thing. You can do it flat out. I didn't really figure out whether it was smarter to upshift to fourth before entering or doing it along the way through, but it's flat out. Here I'm using roughly before the 100 board. On this lap you can see I overcooked it. I ran wide on that corner. Here it's only a small dab on the brake, mostly a lift, and all about trying to get the car pointed in the right direction. Here I'm braking between the change of the tarmac color and the 100 board, at least later on in this video, and abuse as much as you can of the first part of the chicane. Avoid the bollard. Here I don't really have a brake marker. I am mainly aiming for that pit entry wall as my apex, but you can see I messed up completely here, getting a poor exit. But at least we used my first slow lap to point out some brake markers, and on the following lap roughly a lot of the same mistakes, including messing up the final corner. But we are going across the line in a slightly faster time. I think this is a 2:25 flat. And I am getting a bit too greedy into turn 1. You can see I missed the corner completely, so we are just jumping out to have a look. We've only done a few minutes. It's very early doors. Now we have loaded the best available Ghost at the time. And coming into turn 1, finding the apex. There's also a small dip in the track that can help the car to turn. As soon as second gear, rev out up to third as you flick the car over for this left-hander. Go as wide as you dare so you can get a good entry into this corner. All about just balancing the car on the throttle. Trying to go up to third gear for a good 1-gear run out of here. And a tiny bit of braking, maybe braked a bit too early. You can see I got the car slowed down too much. Up to third gear again after entering in second, trying to get a good run, braking at the start of the curb. seeking towards the inside. I am running a bit wide and I'm struggling a bit to get the car going on the exit. Here I am finding the inside of that corner. That is crucial. Don't run wide here, you will run really wide. This is a corner I really need to work on. I clearly turned in a bit too early there and struggled the understeer on the exit, and just taking as much as I can there, avoid the bollard. And you are supposed to turn in roughly about where the track disappears to the left onto the Nordschleife. I tend to turn in a bit too early a lot of the time. I really need to work on that. But we are down to a 24.2, so a big chunk of the time there. But here is a track limit. Don't go beyond the white line with more than 2 tires. You will get your lap invalidated. That was 17 minutes done. We keep going. Coming into turn 1, seeking towards the inside, getting onto the power as soon as we can. This is a rotary engine. They are not exactly known for their big torque figures, so it's easy to get on the power even on the sports hard tires because it doesn't have that much power low down. So it's fairly easy to keep this car in check even though it's a hard tire compound. We made it through those first corners, braking at the end of the tarmac, leading onto the right there. And can I seek towards the inside? You have to be careful when you upshift to third. Don't just floor it. That can push the car off the line. When I go up to third on the exit of that corner back there, I am careful coming back on the power. The same goes here. Try to find a straight line out of there. I'm using second. This is uphill, and as mentioned, this car doesn't have that much power, so I think it needs to be second. I might be wrong. And here I am drifting a bit too far to the right hand side, so that gave me a poor exit out of there. Found the inside there, and as already mentioned, I really need to time the rotation of the car. I need to see if I can do it a bit later and a bit faster and get a straighter line out of there. We make it through the final chicane, and I am basically mostly looking at the pit entry wall, trying to get most of the rotation done before it so I can get a straight exit after that. I'm saying it, I'm not always doing it, but that's the goal. Well, I'm down to a 2:23.816, and after a few laps I accidentally tested another track limit. If you run too wide too early on that corner, you will get your lap invalidated. 25 minutes done, and Jetta is already down into the 220s. This is going to be competitive. The improvements I'm doing are getting smaller. I am going to speed up the process of this video a bit. Long story short, this lap was looking good until the final corner. It's still looking good as we go through the chicane. We are doing a decent job getting through there and not unsettling the car too much as it jumps over the curb, but final corner I'm turning in way too late. You can see the ghost turning in roughly at the end of that curve. So I am getting a slow exit out of there, and my time was getting ruined there, but still a slight improvement. And I'm coming in way too hot, hitting the bollard. That was too hot.
Hot! Too hot!
And now we have done 36 minutes. We are running out of time soon. Coming into turn 1, braking at that brake marker I mentioned. And we are finding the inside, getting early on the power, as early as we can, flicking the car over as we upshift into third. Be sure not to come back onto the power too abruptly. That will just give understeer. So after that upshift to third, be careful coming back on the power. Not cutting the inside this time, cutting as much as I dare. Apparently you can run all 4 tires beyond the white lines on that one. And we are getting, that is looking better. Maybe a bit too far to the right hand side. This is the important corner of those. We are making it out of there sort of okay. Now this long hairpin that seems to go on forever, I'm just trying to keep a tight line and get a good exit, and seeking towards the inside on this one. And now this dreaded corner. There is a similar corner on Spa that feels a lot like this one, and I struggle on that one as well. Imagine that. Anyway, we are coming into the chicane, taking a big chunk of the first apex, avoiding the bollard. For some reason I used third gear, and you can see that is just a bit slow in this car. And this time I got really close to that pit wall, but we just missed it, and we are going to go across the line in a 2:23.334, and damn it, I cut the inside once again. We are going out to have a look. Now we have got 15 minutes left, and I would really like to see if I could get below 2:23 before this ends. I have updated my Ghost. I constantly try to just find the fastest Ghost available. We're coming into turn 1, and we are going to, I missed the apex slightly, we are going to jump to the end of this lap straight away. We are going across the line in a 2:23.188, and I know my time is running out, so I was starting to overdrive the car a bit. Jetta has improved again, he's down to a 2:20.7. I'm about to finish my final lap within the hour. If this could only be a sub 2:23, I am only hoping that it could. Never mind. That was truly frustrating. So I got stubborn. This was my time within the hour, but I spent 25 more minutes overdriving the car desperately, and finally we got something. This is the final run of the video. I'm not going to interrupt this lap. We are braking at that darker bit of tarmac into turn 1, seeking towards the apex, lifting off the brake, getting back on the power all the way to the end of second gear, upshifting to third as I lift off and flick the car over, seeking towards the outside as much as I dare, looking for the barrier on the inside as my brake marker. Be careful not to cut too much of the inside, flick the car back over, up to third gear before the apex, and powering out of there. Now we are looking for the end of where the shorter layout turns off to the right, braking for a short moment, using the releasing of the brake to help the car rotate, looking for the start of the curb on the right hand side, up to third gear, but don't floor it until you are sure the car is lined up for the exit. You will slide off and get understeer. Now we are looking for the curb on the left hand side, the start of that one, seeking towards the inside, and once again trying to use the releasing of the brake to get the car to rotate, and coming up the hill. Now we are coming through, I think this is called the Schumacher S's, just flat out up to fourth gear, and just trying to straight line this as much as possible. Now I am braking roughly before the 100 board and the end of the tarmac there, using a bit of the green on the right hand side to get a better entry, seeking for the inside. Now can I time the lifting off and getting the car turned? I'm still struggling the understeer. I got turned in a bit too early, but we are coming down this back straight through the kink, and now we've just got the chicane and the final corner. I'm braking between the change of tarmac color and the 100 board, taking as big a chunk of the first curb, and trying not to unsettle the car, but I'm staying in second gear, then up to third gear. Can I turn in a bit later this time? No, I am still turning in a bit too early. I have to stop looking at when the Ghost turns in, because the Ghost is ahead. Plenty of mistakes still in this one, but we just sneaked below a 2:23, and I am going to elegantly park the car at the side of the track and leave this for now. This is a work in progress. You can see Jetta was improving further. He was down to a 0.4 when I started doing the commentary. This is not over yet. I will get back to this one. I am actually enjoying this time trial. It's a nice car. I like the road cars, I know. It's a track with still a lot of unlocked potential in my case, so We'll see what I can do. I will post improvements in the comment section if there will get any of those. That's all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.